This is what I'm going to show you today. This is the application in its whole, just to give you context before I do the demo. So top left to bottom right, there's 3 different ways to access our application, and I will show you today kind of the day in the life of a rep. So a salesperson that would come into starting in a CRM system, create an opportunity, and then from that opportunity launch BigMachines in order to configure the product, price it out, and then create proposals. And so you could do that direct. We can also open this up to third parties. So if you have resellers or dealers that need to sell your product, they could log directly into BigMachines, do all of that configuration, pricing, and proposal generation, and then we can also take that and push it back down into your CRM. So you can have a holistic view not only of what your internal team is doing, but of external organizations as well. And then we also have now a processor module or a transaction-based license, so you can also open up all of this functionality that I'm about to show you out on the web. So like, we could redo Dell's website. Also new in 2010 for BigMachines is we are Safari enabled. So the cool thing is that the majority of our customers are now having their salespeople run around with BigMachines on their iPads and doing all of this configuration, pricing, and quoting right in front of the customer. So that's how you get into the application. And what I'm going to show you today here, number 1 is going to be our selection and configuration engine. And this is where you go and basically the difference between the 2 of those is selection's like a virtual salesperson, right? So we can ask a series of business questions, and based on the answers to the business questions, we could recommend a product. So like if you were going to buy a bicycle, business questions could be like, how tall are you? How often would you ride? What kind of terrain would you ride on? And then based off of that, we could say this is the right bike, or we could dynamically build that bike for you. Then you move into configuration where we make sure that everything is technically valid. And also in configuration, we have the concept of doing upsells. So making recommendations for things that might go well or dovetail nicely, kind of like the Amazon type experience. Maybe even other customers that have purchased this have also purchased these items. And then we're going to get into number 2 and 3, which combined together we call commerce, or the commercial aspect of the opportunity. This is where you do your pricing, your discounting, and your walking of this job around the office. And we'll do that via Outlook or whatever email client that you utilize. And the great part about that workflow engine is that it's also handheld enabled. So iPhones or BlackBerries, we could send you a discount request. You could be a manager driving down the expressway, and you could reply to that email and say, this is approved. And that will flow all the way back into BigMachines and automatically update your CRM system. So you have full transparency through the whole process. And then when we're finally done configuring and pricing it, then we're going to generate output documents. And you'll see how our document engine can go link out to different places on the web to dynamically pull information in to give you the most updated proposal possible to hand to the end user. And then once all of this is done, we're going to take all of that information that the rep would normally have to enter into Salesforce or Oracle On Demand or whatever CRM tool they're using. We'll push all of that back in there for them. And then in addition, we will automatically create a sales order in the back-end ERP or billing system. So nobody has to enter data twice in the whole process. And then we can feed a myriad of reporting tools in order to slice and dice that information.